Hi, this is Valerie and today's recipe is old-fashioned beef stew.
My name is Michael, and I'm from upstate New York. This is my wife, Valerie. She's from Kenya. When I was 30 years old, my mother gave me an incredible gift. This homemade cookbook, which took her years to produce, contains over 400 family recipes. One morning, after Mom passed away, we decided to honor her by preparing every recipe in that book. To make it interesting, we thought Valerie should be the chef. Can a Kenyan transplant conquer her mother-in-law's opus? Let's find out. This is Valerie Cooks the Book.
So these are the base ingredients you're going to need for this recipe. I say base because the recipe allows for modifications based on your preferences and taste buds, which we take advantage of. So you need 2 pounds of beef and they should be cut into 1.5 inches cubes. 1 quart of tomato juice, flour, salt, and pepper mixed together. Carrots, we'll not be using carrots just because we don't like cooked carrots. So we're going to be opting for mushrooms instead. Potatoes, onions, and corn. Instead of corn, you may opt for peas, green beans, or mushrooms. So we'll be just doubling up on the mushrooms.
We're going to add some thyme too, right, babe?
Yes.
We'll be adding thyme, but we will not be adding thyme-related puns because that's just too easy.
Okay, babe. You're being too punny.
Too cheap and easy.
No, you're being too
Yeah,
punny.
no thyme puns.
Let's stop.
No puns
Let's
such
stop
as
before we lose.
we need more time or we're running out of time.
We need viewership, babe. Let's stop.
Or
let's stop with the puns.
We have all the time in the world.
Okay, so...
Oh, there's never enough time to do the recipes that we want.
Okay, we're running out of time.
I could keep going.
We have to start cooking.
Time for a recap. Please feel free to pause the video or take a screenshot.
So the recipe calls for dredging the beef in flour. So this is what I have: 1 cup of flour, a teaspoon of black pepper, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Instead of dredging the beef, I'm gonna go ahead and just coat it by scooping some of the flour seasoning into the beef until I feel like it's well coated. Again, adjust the seasoning to your liking. And honestly, this is already well coated. I don't think I need all that mixture. I would say I've used probably less than a half cup of flour at this point. So that's well mixed. I'm gonna set this aside and start prepping the rest of the ingredients. We're only gonna use 1 onion. If you want your dish to be a little bit more oniony, you may use 2. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the recipe is very flexible and allows for numerous modifications. Please don't judge me if I'm doing this incorrectly. This is how I've always peeled my onions. It's
the internet, babe. You will be judged.
I'm gonna do like little rings. There's no specification on how you should chop this. I do like the rings just because I feel like they look pretty. I'm just gonna halve this because they're gonna be cooking for a while. I don't want them to be too thin because then the mushrooms will just, I always say, lose integrity because I just like texture in food. So the mushrooms will lose integrity, if you know what I mean. This is how I peel my potatoes. Feel free to use a peeler. I'm just used to doing this really quickly. Again, just large chunks. Let's start cooking. Okay, so the recipe calls for browning the meat with either oil or butter. I'm going to be using both because I'm going to be using olive oil, and olive oil burns quicker, so butter will help mediate that. Again, this is just eyeballing. I don't know how much that is, but I think it's going to be enough. And before the butter completely melts, I'm going to start adding the meat. Every time I cook, I always feel like I need to do more. I always feel like everything is so heavy when I hold it in my hands. Okay, the meat is in there, so we're gonna go ahead and start browning this. And I'm using medium heat just because I noticed the meat had started to stick on the pan. Michael's mom used to use a Dutch oven when making this recipe. We don't have a Dutch oven, and that is something we're looking into investing now that we are YouTube chefs. I think this is why I like the butter, because I feel like if this was just olive oil, it will be smoky all of a sudden and everything will be burning. So this way you get the taste, you know, the benefits of both. We do like how butter tastes, but also olive oil. It's a good mixture.
Best of both worlds.
Yes. Who are the butter people? The butter people are French, right? And
yeah.
And then the olive oil people are Italian.
Yeah. Yeah, the French love their butter, and the Italians love their olive oil.
And the Americans?
We love Crisco.
Okay, so this has been cooking / browning for approximately 15 minutes. So we're supposed to add a quart of tomato juice and bring to boil. This is so interesting. I would never cook like this. I'm actually interested to see how this turns out. So we're gonna bring it to boil, then we're gonna cover it and reduce the heat and simmer for 1.5 hours, stirring occasionally. I'm gonna just use this time to see if I can deglaze some of the brown bits stuck on the pan in order to increase the flavor. Oh, that smells amazing. It's been simmering for 1.5 hours. Now it's time to add all the ingredients. So I'll start off with the mushrooms. The stew is very thick already. I'm actually quite surprised. And finally the onions. I'm just gonna mix it up. And then we'll top it off with some thyme and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. How do you say it? Is it Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
Okay, Worcestershire or Worcester or whatever you call it. I'm gonna add just a cup of water. I was actually worried. I thought the tomato juice was gonna be too much liquid. We won't be adding any corn, so that's it for all our ingredients. We'll simmer for 1 hour and see what the final result looks like. Okay, so it's been an hour of simmering. It's ready. The meat is very soft. So I'll take out the thyme, let it cool, and I'll be back for a quick taste test. So let's see if this, I've never tried this before actually, so this is my first time. Okay, this is good. It tastes like the meaty dish you made so many times. So it's a lot of meat.
Sunday gravy?
It tastes like Sunday gravy. Very similar flavor.
Oh.
I like it. You want to try it?
Yeah. For you viewers at home, Sunday gravy, we will make that soon. Oh, it's great.
It's great. It's very tender. I really.
Yeah, it's exactly how it should be. Good job, babe.
Okay.
Really good.
So the modifications we tried, such as adding mushrooms and thyme, worked out. If you happen to alter the recipe in any way, let us know how it turned out for you. What worked, what didn't work, what did you serve it on?
All right, we'll see you next time.
Yay, bye. So that is all, folks. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you happen to try the recipe, let me know what you think about it. See you next time.